recording. Yeah, started recording. So we're discussing few things yesterday. Storage, SAN, NAS, this, that, so many things we discussed. So we'll try to implement one of the storage aspect today within the VMware. We'll see what all the things that we can do within our lab infrastructure, because some of the things you really can't do it in lab, but we'll try to simulate it as much as we can. Okay, so let's understand SAN part. Okay, one thing is clear, local storage is not enough to run the business, right? You need a network storage. In the network storage, NAS is slowness. NAS we cannot use it for real time because of the restrictions. Agree on that?
Yes.
Okay. So what we can do, we use SAN to implement real time storage or implement VMware storage for any customers. Hmm?
Yeah.
So in SAN, I said we have two things, FC and iSCSI, two protocols. Two protocols, right?
Yes.
Fiber channel is little difficult to practice it. I'll explain in theory after we practice iSCSI. Okay, once you do a hands-on on iSCSI, at least you will understand what's going on. Okay, so that afterwards, if I explain fiber channel how it works and how what all the configuration steps that you need to undertake when you are configuring the fiber channel storage in the VMware, then you will get some idea. Otherwise, it's like it's like black hole. Okay, so iSCSI we can implement in our lab. Okay, in real time, if you want to implement the iSCSI, what are all the things that we need? Let's understand first. So go back to the Cisco MCT20 M4. I just want to show you that extra part what we are missing. Visible? Okay. So on the back end, if you look at, you have four network cables. These four are not enough. You have a PCA slot 1, PCA slot 2. Two slots is there, right? You can remove these two slots and you can insert whatever the components that you would like to insert on this system. Agree on this point?
Yes.
These two are dummy plates. Okay, so you can remove it at any point of time and you can insert the components which you would like to, which you would like to use it in your system, right?
Yes.
So what I need iSCSI adapter to use. iSCSI adapter is an internet small computer system interface. Adapter is a network interface, just like your NIC card only. It looks like your NIC card only, that enables the transmission data between host computer and iSCSI based storage array over the TCP/IP network only. Over the TCP/IP network only. So means let me draw some picture. So you have your SXI host. On the back end, you have four cables, or in my example, I gave six different cables, right? Remember? So far in the network class, we discussed why we need a six cables, and I've shown you in different scenarios why we need to use these things, right?
Yes.
Okay, keep them aside. Keep them aside. These are different cables. Okay, keep them aside. These are different cables. So I would need one more set of cables, one more set of cables, but these cables will be passed on to Ethernet only. Means iSCSI, I said two types of iSCSI you can implement: 1 Gbps, 10 Gbps. Agree on this point? I said
Yes.
iSCSI functions at two different speeds, either 1 GB Ethernet, 10 GB Ethernet. If you are using 1 GB Ethernet, okay, these ports are enough. Means these kind of ports you need to order and insert here on the PCS slot. So earlier you have a 6. Earlier you have a 6. So if you want to implement iSCSI storage with 1 GB speed, you would require two more 1 GB cables. Okay, so these two will be used for management purpose. Means if you want to log in into ESXi host, you will use it. These two will be used for customer data. Customer data means if customer is trying to RDP into the machine, these two cables will be used. These two cables will be used for some specific purpose. I said vMotion, okay, and other traffic management called uh, FT logging, FT logging. For those purpose, we will use it. Okay. Now I would require two more cables to get the get the network storage into this host. So I have a storage system. Storage system is altogether different rack. From this rack, if I want to assign some storage to this machine, so the data will travel via these two cables. Agree?
Yes.
Okay. If it is 1 GB, if it is 1 GB, so normal Ethernet cables will work, but no real time customer in real time, no customer will use this kind of setup. Okay. But in our lab, unfortunately, we have to implement with 1 GB only in our lab infra because I don't have a 10 GB cabling or I don't have a fiber channel cabling. Only thing I have is 1 GB Ethernet cable. So I have to implement this in my lab. Remember, okay, this setup I need to implement in my lab in some time. In short, in short, in SAN, in SAN, in iSCSI, we will test 1 GB. But there is no difference between 10 GB and 1 GB. There is no difference. The configuration and all remains same. If you know the basic funda, then configuration is not that what I can say complex. Okay, even 1 GB speed or 10 GB speed, configuration steps are same. Remember, but in 10 GB speed, if your company or your customer is looking for 10 GB speed, means forget about these things. Forget about these things. These are 1 GB only. But this part is there, no? From here to here, this part in between these two systems, I need a 10 GB speed, 10 Gbps, 10 GB per second. For that, the setup is something different. How it looks like? Let me show you in the picture. So in this front panel, sorry, back panel, the PCS slots, you need to remove the back panel, these PCS slots, and you need to insert one of these adapter. You'll see this adapter is there now. It is not it is not like your network adapter. See, it's the shape is little different. If you look at the shape is little different. It is normal Ethernet cable and iSCSI 10 GB iSCSI adapter. How it looks like 10 GB copper cable. If you search for, I think I have explained you earlier, right?
Yeah.
It looks like this. This is 10 GB cable, the 10 GB SFP module, small form factor. What you call it as?
Small
10
form
GB
factor.
SFP. SFP means that latch. Man, how it is going. This part 10 GB. See, it is clearly written over here. 10 G SFP 10G, right?
Mhm. Yeah.
Visible 10G. So on the back end, the cable is connected. How the connectivity looks like? Let me draw a picture and explain. Then we'll go ahead with the 1 GB configuration. Okay. So I have three different ESXi hosts. I have three different ESXi hosts. In cluster, how many hosts that you can add? 64, right? Or 64 or 96 something. Okay, I don't remember exact numbers for 6.7, but cluster will support. So we'll discuss those numbers when we are testing the HADRS and stuff. When we are doing the calculations and stuff for HADRS, during that time we'll do the maximums. And I've already explained you, I guess, in earlier sessions. You have some portal called VMware Maximums. There you can go and search for benchmark values, right? So imagine in the cluster you have a three host, and all the three host has those six cables which are used for front end. This is used for front end. Okay, on the back end, I would require two switches. I'm talking about 10 GB connectivity, two switches. These switches are capable of sending 10 GB switch, Cisco 10 GB switch, for example. Okay. 10 GB switches looks like little different. Like this, you'll see empty. These ports are empty. Okay, so you'll get a switch ports like this, 48 ports. So you need two switches of of same kind. Means 10 GB switches two. And imagine this is your rack. The whole rack is mentioned in a reverse way. But imagine this is rack. Normally your rack. So I'm mentioning here. Okay. So it has some disk shelves. What disk shelf contains? It will contain all the hard drives. All the hard drives. This shelf contains all the hard drives. How many disk shelves? Boss, the calculation of the storage system is works in a different way. So imagine 5 and 5. 10 disk shelves are there. 10 disk shelves are there into 24. So around 240 disks into 4 TB each. How much space? Around 1 petabyte approximate, not approximate, zero point 0.9 petabyte. Total size is 240 into 4 TB, around 960 TB. 1024 TB is 1 petabyte, right? So 900, how much? 80, 960, how much? Guys, everyone is poor in calculation because we are more into analytical. 960, correct? My calculation is 960 TB, 0.9 petabytes. Okay, so imagine you have a two systems. Controller one, I'll explain the architecture later on if time permits, because it's pure, as I said, it's purely storage related concept. You will have a two controllers. Both the controller duty is, controllers will have, you call them as a storage controller or a storage array. Array will contain two systems. Okay, so CPU and a RAM. CPU and a RAM only, imagine. And these are all hard disk, and these are all hard disk. But your systems cannot directly talk to hard disk. They can only talk to controller 1 and controller 2. These two controllers can talk to all the hard drives because everything is interconnected in the backend. Okay, all the controller, even controller 1 and controller 2 also interconnected, and all the disk shelves are interconnected to each other. That is the configuration in the backend. Okay, means this controller 1 can access this drive, this controller 2 can access this drive as well. The configuration is in such a way in the backend. Okay, leave that part. So what we will do is we will pick two cables from here. From here you will pick two cables from controller 1 like this. Also from controller 2 you will pick two cables, one cable here, another cable here. What you call it as, this is switch 1, this is switch 2. Okay, now I'm saying boss on your ESXi host. So I'm not going to touch more about this dotted part here. I'm more interested in upper side of the things. Okay, so as a VMware admin, what is your duty? You need to remove these two patch panels or PCI slot patch panels, and you need to insert this adapter. You need to insert this kind of adapter, two adapters. Need two adapters on the back side of the system. Here you have to insert one, you have to insert two adapters. So from two adapters you inserted two cables, right? Here I have inserted the adapter, here I have inserted the adapter, here I have inserted the adapter. Okay, so from adapter one cable will come here, another cable will go here. What happened? From controller 1, I have created one 2 TB storage block. One 2 TB. SAN means, remember, we will talk in terminology called block. 2 TB block. But logical name is, I'm saying 2 TB block is created. Logical name is, you call this 2 TB as LUN, logical unit number, LUN. Okay, so I have created 2 TB, and this 2 TB can travel, means 2 TB space is reserved here. So if a customer, from out of these 6 cables, from which cable customer will send the data? Hello, fast.
First one.
This is management boss.
Second
No,
one,
no.
These two.
RDP one. Yeah.
Yeah, from these two cables, customer will send and receive the data. Right? You have one VM. This VM is sitting in one data store. Okay, this data store is showing here, means this VM is placed on this data store. Actually, this data store is not the part of the server. Actually, data store is sitting here. Agree on this point?
Yes.
Okay. So, if a customer is saving data on this machine, that actually saving on this data store, actually saving on this LUN.
Done.
This LUN is combination of one or two or more disk inside this system. Okay. So when you configure the RAID, logical drive will be created. Here the architecture is little different. You remember LUN. LUN is a combination of 2 or 4 or 10 device, 10 hard drives in the back end. That doesn't matter. Clear?
Yes.
Okay. So means every time if a customer double click on a C drive on his VM, he RDP into the machine and he has a C drive and he is trying to access some file. He simply double click means the request will come to this machine. This machine will tell this ESXi host that customer is asking for this file to be opened. Where exactly the file is saved on this data store. On this data store under the folder under the vmdk file, the file is saved. That vmdk file is actually saved here means the file is saved here. Actually the file is saved on this hard drive. This hard drive should go and read the zeros and ones in the back end. This much long procedure on the back end. Understood what I'm trying to explain? Okay. So if customer is accessing something, the data, how many ways that data can travel. Let's see. I'll represent it on green color. Watch it carefully. Customer is trying to save some data. It is came like this and it came like this. It came like this. It can go and save like this. One. Agree? Was
Yes.
please acknowledge. Okay. The second path is again same customer is saving same data. Once it is reached, maybe this cable is faulty. What happens? Immediately the data will go to this switch and it will come to
Mm-hmm.
controller 1 and save it.
Yes.
Okay. In
Okay.
worst condition, if the controller itself is down, okay, so the data will customer will save the data. It goes to here, goes via like this. It will come to controller 2 and there is a cable called like this and it will go to this via this cable. It will come and save here because backend it is a
Okay.
cabling. Okay, this is 3. Okay, if
Yes.
the controller 1 is down, parallelly switch 2 is down. It came like this, came like this. From this switch it will enter controller 2 and go via like this. So how many different ways to access the data?
So.
4 different ways. Technically, you call this as multi-pathing. Means
Mhm.
if one controller is down, no problem, your data is visible. If one switch is down, no problem, your data is accessible. If one, I said I said two iSCSI adapters, two iSCSI adapters. If one iSCSI adapter is gone, no problem. I have a second one, right? I have a two iSCSI adapters. Okay. What if a server is down? If a server is down, that's a different story. But my storage will not go down if there is a single component is failed. If the whole system itself is down, the hardware itself is down, the whole ESXi server itself is down due to some problem, then HA is there, no? HA will take care of it. VMware HA is there, no? HA will take care of it.
Yes. Yes.
How that will take care, we'll see that later on. But we need to make the system ready to HA. We need to make the system ready in such a way HA will work without any issue.
Mm.
Understood? Understood?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Now, from this system to this system, I want to assign this 2 TB storage. Okay. From my home, imagine the older days, to your home, to Sunil home, I'm sending one inland letter. What I should mention?
Address.
Address. What else?
Pin code.
Hmm?
Area pin code.
Area pin code. Okay. So first of all, you need to mention his name and his area and his house number or something, or a flat number or a society number or something, and then pin code also needs to be mentioned, and state and district, city, these things we need to mention. That is the complete address, right?
Yeah.
Now I have a storage system. I said one storage system will be there in the whole building. So I have a 2000 destinations. I said 2000 or 2500 destinations in the data center means 2000 plus physical servers are there. How many physical cables? 4000. Two cables each, right?
Mm.
Agree on
Yes.
my point?
Yes. Yes.
Okay. So 4000 cables are trying to read and write the data to the same controller 1 and controller 2. Only two controllers are serving for 2000 servers. Imagine. Okay. Now how this storage system will come to know that I have assigned this storage to this guy and I have assigned some storage to some other guy here, means some other Windows server, means some other physical Linux server, some other ESXi, some other ESXi. So how it will identify to whom I have assigned the storage? Okay. So if I'm sending a letter, I should know the destination, means I should know the full address of the person who is accepting the letter or who is going to receive the letter. Agree on this point? Similarly, similarly, ESXi should give some inputs to storage system. Boss, this is my address. Please assign storage to me. So, to whom you will assign the storage? My question is, from storage system, to whom you will assign the storage? You will assign a storage to ESXi host, host name, or ESXi host IP address, or ESXi host NIC card MAC address, to whom you will assign the storage. Sorry,
To card,
assign it to NIC card.
the the card we are like the iSCSI card we have.
iSCSI card. Okay, what iSCSI card will contain? If you say NIC card means when I said 1 Gbps connection, 1 Gbps connection is your normal NIC card only. Okay, if I say NIC card, I have 6 plus 2, 8 different NIC cards. So to which NIC card you will assign? To all the 6 NIC cards you will assign, or to all 8 NIC cards you will assign?
The only one
What
where
NIC card will
we
contain? NIC card will contain MAC address,
MAC address.
right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay, but we will not assign storage to MAC addresses. Okay, storage works in a different way. So when I say iSCSI adapter, iSCSI adapter will have a unique number called IQN number. IQN number. This is unique identification of your storage adapter. Storage systems are developed in such a way because iSCSI itself one protocol. TCP/IP itself one protocol. TCP/IP uses L2, L3 traffic, L3 traffic IP to IP, L2 traffic MAC to MAC. Understood?
Yes.
Similarly, iSCSI itself is one protocol that uses IQN number to communicate the data across multiple devices.
Mhm.
Okay, I might be wrong in some of these basic terminologies, but yes, we should assign storage to IQN number only in iSCSI storage. iSCSI storage configuration I'm talking about. Okay.
Yes.
Means each and every device that you insert with iSCSI adapter, each iSCSI adapter will be hard coded with IQN number by the manufacturer, just like your NIC card and MAC address. MAC address is assigned by hardware manufacturer, that is hardware address. Each and every NIC card has a unique number called MAC address. That is unique. Agree? Disagree?
Agree.
Okay.
Yes.
Similarly, storage adapters or iSCSI adapter used for a storage allocation from storage system to ESXi host or Windows server or a Linux server, whatever. The physical hardware is physical hardware. So that physical component you call it as iSCSI adapter, and that contains IQN number. I'm repeating multiple times. Please remember. Okay.
Yes.
So in real time, you have how many hosts? Imagine you have a 64 host. 64 host in one vCenter cluster. Cluster. So what you will do? You have a 64 host. How many IQN numbers you will get?
64.
Right? So you take all the 64 IQN numbers and and create one logical name called VMware US Production Cluster 1, right? VMware US Production Cluster 1. That is the logical name. Inside that logical name, you put all the 64 host IQN numbers.
Okay.
Okay. So when you are assigning storage, the 2 TB storage to any of these hosts, you will not directly assign it to this IQN numbers. You will assign it to this name, a logical name. Logical name has a 64 host, 64 IQN numbers. So this 2 TB is visible here, visible here, visible here, visible here, and it will also visible on the 64th host. Same LAN shared across all the 64 hosts. Then only HA will run. I explained you yesterday. Yesterday, before I close the session, I explained you one small scenario. Right?
Yes.
Watch that video and
Yes.
you should understand why you need a shared storage. Right? Now, how to assign a shared storage? You need to get those IQN numbers. Okay. Only the difference is you are using 10 GB connection. You need to have additional hardware components. Additional hardware components in the backend. Okay, even your storage is capable of 10 GB adapters. Means here also you need to have the 10 GB adapters. Then only they can send the 10 GB data. Agree?
Yes.
Controller
Yes.
1, controller 2 must have 10 GB adapters.
I have one question.
Yeah, go ahead.
Uh, we are using SKG protocol here, and if a client demands in a same cluster there is one host and we want to use a fiber channel protocol. So,
Yes.
and if we will there be some different hardware for that? That IQN number will differ or something like
Yeah, everything is different. Yeah, everything is different. If I set a protocol, each protocol behavior is different. Means if I'm using fiber channel, let's say this host 3 is there, right? So host 3 is
that. Yeah.
having iSCSI adapter, 10 GB iSCSI adapter, also fiber channel. So FC adapter is also there. That you call it as FC adapter or HBA adapter, host bus adapter, HBA adapter.
Mhm.
Okay. So from here, you need to have different cabling to fiber channel. Same system. System is same, but cabling will different. Cabling will be different. That I'll explain when I'm explaining fiber channel. But yeah, you can have both on the single system. It supports.
Oh,
Okay. So can you imagine? It's hard to imagine the things, but yeah, try to imagine. Okay. So in which scenario we will use it? I have a brand new host. Okay. So which has two things, iSCSI and FC both. Hmm? From iSCSI. from iSCSI, you get some storage. Okay, but these VMs are running, no? These VMs actually running on storage, HP storage. Okay, this is 7 years old setup. Now, no one is using this, but it is there since long time. You are using it. Now everyone is interested in FC because it will support 4, 8, 16, 32, 24, sorry, 256, sorry, 64, 128, 256, like this. Multiple speeds are available. Okay, I'll not say 256 and all, but at least 16, 32 Gbps is also there. I've seen. Okay.
Yeah.
So I purchased a new brand new storage system. This is storage system 1. This is storage system 2. I want to allocate some storage from brand new storage. And I want to create
Mhm.
one more data store here. Existing data store is connected to legacy. I created a new. Okay. If you are intelligent enough, okay, you can migrate these VMs from this storage to this storage. It requires some additional configuration and stuff. That is different story. Okay, but this storage will be, you can migrate from here to here. Once the migration is done, your all your VMs are start working from new storage. Your old storage will become empty. Simply shut down and trash it. In that situation, host must have iSCSI, host must have fiber channel, both the adapters.
Mhm.
Got the picture?
Yeah.
Now, any further questions? So in iSCSI, either that will be 1 GB speed or a 10 GB speed, doesn't matter. You would require what you require? What you require?
IQ.
IQN is needed. So in tomorrow's session, in our lab, we can simulate IQN numbers using software iSCSI adapter. How to do that? Let me show you. Go to, I'll not create it. Go to ESXi host, configure, configure, storage adapter, add software adapter, add software adapter. You will see iSCSI adapter, you will see FCOE adapter, not FC adapter, FCOE adapter. Okay, keep that aside.
Sure.
Okay, fiber channel over Ethernet means again it is Ethernet only.
Yeah.
Okay, so a new iSCSI adapter will be added to the list. After it is added, select the adapter to use the adapter details section to complete the configuration. This part we will do it tomorrow. If you want, I will do it for one host. Click add iSCSI adapter. Changing configuration, iSCSI adapter is added. Okay, so you
Mhm.
see iSCSI adapter is added. Type is iSCSI. You will see identifier IQN number is populated. iSCSI name, IQN, and its number. The total number is this. Total unique ID is this. This is the unique ID. This is the IQN number. Okay. This
Yeah.
IQN number will be used. Treat this as host 1, host 2, host 3, right? So in this picture, my example, previous example where it is. In this picture, I said 3 hosts are there. One host is equipped with one iSCSI adapter. iSCSI adapter is there. I still need to configure this to work in lab environment. In real time, no need to worry. Each adapter has unique number. Start assigning the storage from here. Okay. So in lab, it is it little tricky part to configure the storage on VMware lab. That I will demonstrate tomorrow. Okay, so I'll stop here on the iSCSI part. This is more of theory in the iSCSI, how it works, how you will manage it in a day to day, and what all the things that you need to consider when you are using 1 GB or 10 GB. 1 GB, you will never see any customer environment. Remember, only 10 GB iSCSI or fiber channel with 4, 8, 16, 32 GB speed will be used in the real time.
Yeah.
Clear? Any questions on this? Up to this,
No.
what we discussed today? Perfect. So,
No, sir.
yeah, I'll stop here. So tomorrow what we will do is, tomorrow what we will do, we'll continue with the clear this off. We'll continue with the discussing configuration. VMware host. This we will test it tomorrow. It will take some time. Okay, at least 1 hour, 15 minutes. It will take. Tomorrow we will do it. Clear? So I'll stop here. Let's catch up tomorrow, same time. Be on time. Okay, at least be on time
Yes.
for next few days. Otherwise, we are losing the time. So we had to shrink down the discussion. So I don't want to do that. Okay?
Yeah.
Yeah, go ahead. Thank you.
Thank you.